Hi folks, I have had several inquiries about tomorrow's roleplay. So I've produced this just to make it more clear to people what's required. If you look on Blackboard then, you'll see I posted a post saying that you will be put into groups of 3. You are in those groups, they are your teams. As a 3, you will be involved in a roleplay interview scenario with me as the role actor, who will be acting as Craig, a prison officer who's got problems with drink and depression, who is contemplating suicide, some suicide ideation. In your groups of 3, so you are just 3 of you in a room with me, so there's no confusion. 3 people. Between the 3 people, you decide on a risk assessment tool. It can be any, but in the workshop, you had a look at one of the better ones, which is the British Transport Police assessment tool. The assessment tool, in essence, is a number of questions that people use to gauge the level of risk from sort of low to medium to high. Depending on where the person fits in that, it would be depending on what the assessor would do next. So I will post the role player's brief on the Blackboard announcement. So you go in the room armed with some questions. You present it with a role player. The role player explains their situation, and you go through a checklist, this tool. And then at the end, you come up with some plan or suggestion for the role actor. It's very simple, very straightforward. As a result of that, then, you reflect on the use of tools, and particularly the use of your tool, and whether you thought whether you were comfortable or uncomfortable doing this checklist, or whatever you think about it. And then you will include that in your essay. I apologise if this has caused so much confusion. Hopefully this post has clarified it. You will have an hour each, 3 team of 3. You do not have to sit in the room and watch other teams. In fact, you are not going to sit and watch other teams. Your team comes in, goes through the role play exercise, and goes out again. And the next team comes in, and so on, until everybody's had an opportunity to test the assessment tool. It's up to you how you break down who does what in the team. So if somebody wants to take a lead, that's fine, as long as you're present and you see and you can reflect, because the whole purpose is that you would reflect on your experience of the role play. This originally is made for people who are practitioners. Other students who've been on offender management have actually dealt with people who've presented with suicide ideation, so they don't need to do the role play. The role play was designed for people who didn't have the opportunity to deal with suicide ideation in the field, so to say. I hope this video has been useful. Please come tomorrow. Please be punctual. If you're supposed to start at 11, please come for, I would say, at least 11:15. I also would recommend that you have a word with your co-presenters and come up with a plan. And you can choose any of the risk assessment tools. The tool is basically a checklist. The one that's been recommended on this module is the British Transport Police. However, you're quite free to use any which you can find that you think may be more effective. Thank you.